getting a lot of slimes down here. I guess we're far enough down that we're past the gold farm. It's mostly the gold farm that stops things from spawning because it maxes out the spawn cap all the time when it's running. Okay, so get to here, right? Great. Right, that one, and the sides. So far, so good. Can I jump all the way down? I can. Now, kind of using these faster than I imagined. Should be fine. Alright, so here... Alright, and then from here... there. And... there. Okay, now what? Now, let's... fail. I tried to pick it up. And then... right, that one, and the sides. When I drop that block, there it is. So one more column, right? One more there, and then it's all the columns in this cave. Like, you can't really see it. can't really differentiate the natural stone columns versus the artificial stone columns. I guess in some of these places you kind of do, like this one here, you can see it. Using local materials. In architecture, there's a movement called critical regionalism. Critical means like not just blindly copying what's there, but actually thinking about what's there. And regionalism means taking inspiration from local conditions. And one of the things they do is they use local materials a lot. The idea is that like architecture makes sense or should make sense in the context. So for example, if you live near a jungle, you would make a lot of architecture out of wood because you have wood, for example. So using materials that make sense in the environment. Unfortunately, like regionalism, critical regionalism even, it doesn't really survive globalism and the economics of globalism because like global supply chains are so developed that even if you like live next to a jungle, sometimes it's cheaper to import building materials from China. Even that is cheaper than using local materials. Like even that is cheaper than chopping down a tree that's right next to you and building out of that. Because look, if you don't have a sawmill nearby, what are you gonna do, right? You're gonna chop down the tree and what, you're gonna cut it up by hand? And so the labor and the time it takes for you to actually process that jungle tree into wood planks that you can then use to... Like, if you don't have a sawmill nearby, why would you do that? You would just import concrete from China or something. Or like kind of steel prefabricated. Yeah, so like global supply chains are so well developed these days that the economics doesn't really make sense sometimes. Now, if you live next to a sawmill, then sure, like they're already supplying timber, so why not? What I'm saying like is if you're in the middle of the Amazon jungle or something, because you're not just... It's not just the timber. The rainforest is, for example, famous for being difficult on biodegradable material. Oh, I didn't do that properly. What the hell did I do that? Why did I do that? So biodegradable materials will degrade very quickly in the jungle. Oops, don't do that. I'm trying to think if I should scaffold up or dig down. Probably dig down, right? So if you chop down a jungle tree, and try to build a house out of a jungle tree. You get like termites, you get animals nesting in the tree. Like, how do you stop termites from eating your house? And turns out you have to like treat the wood with chemicals if you want to prevent termites from eating your house. And maybe you're better off just importing concrete and steel. Even though you're surrounded by wood, instead of building out of wood, you build out of imported materials. Because if you do build out of wood, termites will eat your house, for example. So those are things to consider. Okay, I think that's correct now. Looks good. I guess I should pick up and move. That's the wrong thing. I used the wrong pickaxe. I used the wrong pickaxe. Okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and recraft. Why do you need silk touch to pick up the ender chest? Alright, let me recraft this thing. I mean, like, supply chains are such that you can get like a factory in China to prefabricate your house in parts, and you bring you ship the house parts over to even like the United States, and then assemble the parts on site. And even that is cheaper than just building it locally. Alright, give me that back. Why am I not loading chunks? Alright. Why am I not loading chunks? Okay, back down here, and now we have to find where all the bridges are. Start from the northwest corner. And was there or was there not a bridge here? I guess there is. I mean, the span is not that big, but I guess I want to put something here. Okay, where is the lantern? It's there. Snow blocks. There, right? So this is like the shortest column possible. Nice. The, sh the shortest possible column. Alright, good. And I mean, people talk about transport costs, right? So like, I mean, you buy some sheet metal. Imagine you buy some sheet metal and steel beams from China. Like you have to ship the sheet metal and the steel beams all the way across the ocean. And people are like, well, think of the transport costs, think of the embodied energy. Okay. But if you have to build a steel mill, if you don't want to import it in your country, you have to build a steel mill to process the steel in your own country. Now think about the embodied energy in the steel mill that you're building, right? Maybe that's even worse. I mean, sure, you're importing steel. I should check the diagonals, actually. Okay, we've been here before. We've done this before. Let me check. Wasn't there, like, other caves where the diagonal intersects? I'm losing track of what I'm doing. So I decided not to do that one, right? And I also decided not to do that one. By do I mean not to put columns underneath, because the span is not that wide. And there are bridges here. And maybe also here. Let me check this though. See, there's a thing there, but do I need columns here? No, the column's like inside there. Not really. I might just like just fill this. Right, good enough. So this part is fine. Although having said that, it does stand over nothing. I mean, I guess that's solid enough. Oh, this is unstable gravel. That might drop down at any point. So here, that's still sitting on the ground. When we get to here, we are no longer sitting on the ground. How do I do this? Let me do this. I don't think I take 4 damage if I drop. There.